Well, hello, it's Mr. Mock again, and we're going to do more factoring of trinomials. This is going to be topic 7.6. For this particular section, we don't have the nice, pretty, x squared only. So we have now a coefficient or a number in front of our variable, which kind of adds a new layer to it. And there's two ways to go about solving these. And it all depends on what's kind of given to you in the problem. So for example, if you're looking at this one, now I have x cubed, x squared, and an x. Each of these terms has an x that I could take out, right? I could divide out an x. But when you look at the coefficients, 6, 30, and 24, well, all of those are also multiples of 6, right? So I could divide out a 6x from each of these terms, right? So let's see what that looks like. If I take out a 6x from this one, if I divide out a 6x, well, 6 divided by 6 is going to leave 1. And if I divide out an x, it's just going to leave x squared. So when I multiply this out, 6x times x squared gets me back to the 6x cubed. Same thing for this one. 30 divided by 6, that's going to leave me a 5. And then if I have an x squared, I'm taking away or dividing out an x, it's going to leave me with just a single x, right? So 6x times 5x gives me 30x squared. Looking pretty good so far. 24x divided by 6x is going to leave me with, well, 24 divided by 6 is 4, right? So what I've done here is I factored out the 6x. It was a common factor of each of these terms, which is something I believe we talk about in topic 7.3. So we're just going back and reusing that skill that we practiced. So we look first when we have a trinomial with a coefficient, a leading coefficient, can you factor it out to get back to one of these guys? This we can handle, right? This is what we just did in topic 7.5. All right, so 6x times, and now we're going to factor that trinomial, right? So this looks good. We go back to x times x gives us the x squared, and now I need factors of 4 that will have a sum of 5. So again, if I think about 2 plus 2 is never going to give me 5. But 4 plus 1 does give me 5, right? And I can multiply 4 and 1. 4 times 1 gives me 4. And this will be a 1x, and a 4x will add up to give me the 5x. So this is the factor of 6x cubed plus 3x squared plus 24x. And yes, this is important to know, and we'll get to it. Oh, I guess we'll get to it in topic 9. I don't know that we talk about it. Factoring special case. Yeah, we'll just get to it in topic 9. Sweet. And then you'll understand why we do this, and it's pretty cool. All right. Going on to the next one here. Factor this trinomial. Now this one, when we look at it, 10, 17, and 3, those do not have a common factor that we can take out. We can't get rid of or simplify that leading coefficient, which kind of stinks, right? So this complicates things, but it honestly, it just makes the puzzle a little bit more challenging. And I like that, right? You're still going to have an x here and an x here. But now what we have to consider, this guy right here, 3, there's only 2 factors to 3. It's 3 and 1. All right, so 3 times 1, good. That gives me 3. But again, now I have to figure out the rest of this so that I have to break down the 10 into a way where you're going to be able to get 17 as your middle part here. So we could just try some things out, put a 10 here and leave that as a 1, right? 10x times x is 10x squared. And then you're going to do 10x times 1 will give me 10x, 3x, but 10 plus 3 is not 17, right? So when you go ahead and start distributing out, we're not going to get back to that 17x. So this isn't the right combination. 10 and 1 maybe doesn't work. But what are some other factors of 10? Well, we could try 5 and 2, right? So 5x times 2x is 10x squared. 3 times 1 is 3. So now we have to figure out that middle 17. 5x times 1. So basically what you're doing is you're taking one of the factors, multiplying it by one of the factors of the 3. Factor of 10, factor of 3. So 5 times 1 is 5. And then 3 times 2 is 6. 5x and 6x does not give me 17x. So it can't be 5 and 2. Could it be 2 and 5? Let's try that, because 2x times 5x is still the 10x squared. 3 times 1 is 3. And so for me, I always looked at these just as a puzzle, right? So I'm going to do 2x times the 1 gives me the 2x. The 3 times the 5x is 15x. 2x and 15x is 17x. We found it. So we've now factored the 10x squared plus 17x plus 3 to get the 2x plus 3 times the quantity 5x plus 1. And this would be then your final factor for 10x squared plus 17x plus 3, which is pretty sweet. And there's other ways you can do this. You can put the 10 over here, and you can put the 3 over there, and you can write out your factors, 5 and 2 and 2 and 5, and you've got your 3 and 1, and then you just multiply and add until you find it. So you can show your thoughts over to the side. 5 times 3, 2 times 1, add them. 2 times 3, 5 times 1, add them. However you want to organize it. For me, I kind of like using my pencil, setting it up. It has an eraser. And then just kind of playing it out using the distributive property to see if it gets me back to the trinomial. You just got to work with it and try to piece it together. Variety of strategies, that's mine. And kids, I hope that helped.